Hey guys, today I wanted to do another video in my series Going Healthy-ish, and this video is on menstrual cups. And a lot of you are probably like, what the hell is a menstrual cup? And some others of you are probably going, ew. But I made the switch 2 months ago experimenting for this series, and I super love mine. Spoiler alert. And I am going to go into a couple different brands of menstrual cups that I tried, why I made the switch other than experimenting, and the benefits of making the switch. I'm also going to go over insertion and care and how they actually work. First things first, why do you want to make the switch from tampons or pads to a menstrual cup? And there are a lot of reasons that you may want to make the switch. A lot of people make the switch from tampons or pads to menstrual cups. One, because there are chemicals that do go into the actual cotton to making it into a tampon or a pad. A lot of people are really trying to get away from as many chemicals as possible right now, so that is one reason to make the switch. I personally made the switch because I never remembered to bring tampons with me. I work really long shifts, so there's been days where I've worn them for way too long because I didn't have time to change it. I didn't have another tampon, or none of my friends around me had a tampon. So there have been times where I've worn tampons for way longer than you're supposed to. And tampons do put you at risk for toxic shock syndrome, and you cannot get that with a menstrual cup. And I personally think that the menstrual cup is just something that is really simple and easy once you get the hang of it. I have 2 different types of menstrual cups, and I will go over them for you and the prices. They are priced at right around the same amount, so it is a one-time investment. You really only need 1 menstrual cup. I just got 2 so I could kind of compare them for you guys, but you really only need 1, and the websites recommend that you change them every like 1 year or 3 years depending on the kind of menstrual cup that you have. But really it's your own judgment on whether you think that it's, you know, getting worn out, if it's changing in, you know, texture and like pliability. It's just really your own personal opinion on whether it needs to be replaced. I've read people that have had the same menstrual cup for like 6 years, and they say that it is still absolutely fine. For right around $24 or $25, that is a lot of financial savings. I have 2 for you today. The first one is the Diva Cup, and then the second one is the Maluna. I will go over the differences between the 2, and they both came with like little storage bags, which is nice because if you know you're gonna be starting your period soon, you can just kind of stick it in the bag and put it in your purse or something and you'll have it. Before I get into the 2 different brands that I got, I am just kind of going to discuss how they work, and one of them came with this lovely little diagram, so that is very helpful. So essentially, this cup goes up your hoo-ha. It kind of forms like a suction around the base of your cervix, and it just kind of collects like all the blood and the grossness that we just let out once a month for 5 to 7 days. You can keep these in for up to 12 hours is what they say. I have kept mine in for longer because, like I said, there is no risk for TSS. So really the number of times that you need to take it out and wash it and replace it depends on how heavy your flow is. So my flow really isn't overly heavy. It depends on the day, but even on my heaviest flow, I can wear this up to 12 hours without having to take it out and empty it and replace it. I'm going to show you how one of these works, and I have this little shot glass here with some water in it. This is essentially going to show you how this goes in and will collect the blood. So I will use the insertion technique that I always use. Put it in the cup and it will kind of click into place, and then you want to rotate it to get any air out, and you're just going to tug it a little bit to make sure that there is a good seal, and then you can put it upside down and you should not have any leaking whatsoever. So I can do this a bunch of times, and this pretty much just shows you exactly what the Diva Cup is going to be doing in ya. You know what I'm saying? And when you remove it, it's really simple. Some people like to tug on this. I personally don't. I like to pull it and release the suction, and then it comes out super easy, and I just dump it, you know, in the toilet, and then I rinse it out in the sink near me. Or you can do this in the shower. It really just depends. I have found that I can put it in right before I go to the hospital for my shift at work, and it is absolutely fine until I come home and take a shower, you know, 13, 14 hours later, and I can remove it and rinse it out and reinsert it in the shower then. They're really not that complicated to insert and remove once you get the hang of it. I feel like the first time I did it, I may have had the slightest bit of leaking because it wasn't in there properly, but ever since then I haven't had an issue, and now I know what to look for to know that it's in there correctly. As for insertion techniques, there are several. If you do buy a menstrual cup, there's going to be a pamphlet like this in with it that's going to show the different insertion techniques. The one that I personally like to use is called the punch down fold, and what you do is you take your cup and you take your finger and you essentially just punch it down, and it's kind of going to make like this pseudo pointy end, and then you just put it up, you release it, and you try to rotate it 360 degrees up there, which I know sounds complicated, to make sure all the air is out and that you make a suction. Then it should be properly in place. If for some reason you're up there and you feel like maybe it's not 100% released everywhere, it's still, you know, kind of like this in there, you can just take your finger and go around it and release any air, and it should pop into place like it should be and form the suction. I have found that if I, you know, kind of give it like a little bit of a tug, not a serious one, that sometimes helps form the seal as well, and anything that hasn't popped back out yet will, and that forms the seal. I know it looks really intimidating. When I first opened this, I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is huge. How the hell am I gonna get it up there? But honestly, now I have the hang of it. It's really easy. I have two different kinds to show you today. I have the Maluna, and I have the Diva Cup, and I have the size 1. The Diva Cup only comes in 2 sizes. This one is made out of 100% medical grade silicone. And like I said, it comes in 2 sizes. So the first size is for people, I think, under the age of 30 that haven't had any kids. And the size 2 is for people over the age of 30 or who have had at least 1 child. This one I purchased off of Amazon. I paid, I think, $24 or $25 for it on Amazon Prime, so I didn't have to pay shipping or anything. And this one is a little bit bigger than the Maluna, and I don't like that size difference because I have a pretty low cervix. So I find that this is kind of a little bit long, and I feel it a little bit more, you know, down there. Now you can cut off this base parts if you're not going to use it to remove your menstrual cup. I don't personally use it, so I will probably end up cutting off the end, and then I'll probably feel it a little bit less because I do think that I can feel this little plastic bit down there. So because I have a low cervix, this is a pretty long cup for me. Everyone's cervix is different. Some people have higher cervixes, some people have lower cervixes. You might not feel this at all depending on kind of where your cervix rests. I actually prefer this because I think that the silicone that this is made out of makes insertion easier. The texture of this is a lot easier for me personally to kind of glide it up to where it needs to be. I find that with the other cup that I have a much easier time using a water-based lubricant to insert that one, whereas this one, just the texture of the silicone is easier to get into place, and I don't have to use any lubricant. And because it is larger, if you have a heavier flow, this would probably be better for you because it could hold more blood, obviously. The Maluna I bought off of the Maluna website. It cost $24.95. I did have to pay a few dollars shipping with this one as well. Maluna is manufactured in Germany, and it is made out of thermoplastic elastomer, also known as TPE. And this TPE is specifically manufactured for the medical device industry. Apparently this is even more hypoallergenic than 100% medical grade silicone according to the Maluna website. I'm not very familiar with silicone allergies, so I'm not going to say if it is or not. This also does not have any latex phthalates, alkyl phenol, or bisphenol A. So it's BPA free, apparently. That's nice. I don't really have any allergies to any types of plastics. I haven't really heard of people having silicone allergies, but if you do, then obviously you're not going to want to use the Diva cup, you'd probably want to go for the Maluna, which is, I think, is the only one that I've heard of that is made out of TPE. What I like about Maluna cups is that they are really customizable. So you can decide if you want a rod on the bottom, a ball on the bottom, which is what I got, or there's another choice like a ring or something. It has these nice textured ends here, which are good for kind of grabbing it and removal. And I like the size. I have the medium-sized classic Maluna, which I think is the second smallest one that they make. Is one even smaller than this, which is recommended for people that are just starting out with their periods, that are younger or are virgins, which, you know, I'm not. So I ordered the small, and as you can see, it is considerably shorter and smaller than the Diva cup, which I like. And they have larger sizes as well, and they also have a sport edition, which I think is made from less pliable plastic. But this one is considerably less pliable than the Diva cup, so it is firmer. I like this cup a lot because I cannot feel it when it is in place, because this is probably a better size for me than the Diva cup. I cannot feel it when it's in there. It is more comfortable to wear. There were times during the day when I'd be sitting and I'd be like, ooh, I can feel it in there. It was in the right spot and everything, and it was working just fine, but it caused a little bit, not discomfort, but I knew it was there. The Maluna, I could not feel at all. The one con that I have for this is the material. This glides less smoothly into place, and when I try to put it in, it's kind of dry and like uncomfortable, so I have to use a lubricant. I made the mistake of trying to use a gel-based lubricant. That did not go well. Use a water-based lubricant. It is so much better. The gel kind, it just got like sticky and did not go well. So definitely try a water-based lubricant if you have problems getting this in. I think that I would recommend the Diva cup because even though it is a little bit longer and I can feel it a little bit more, insertion is a lot easier because I don't have to add the extra element of lubricant, which is a lot nicer when I'm out and about, just in case I do want to empty it throughout the day. And I just like that this is more pliable, so you just might have an easier time putting it into place and getting the suction to work properly. But that's just my personal opinion. I really like this one when I'm actually using it and it's in place, but the insertion is just kind of a pain to me. Like, I don't want to have to break out the lubricant when inserting a menstrual cup. For cleaning instructions, it is recommended that you boil your menstrual cup before the first use, and then after that, like while you're using it or after you're done using it, that you clean it with a scent-free soap. I haven't always been the best about using a scent-free soap. Usually I just use whatever soap is handy, but they recommend that you use a scent-free soap. I haven't had any problems, but I don't think I'm exceptionally sensitive. If you are an exceptionally sensitive person and you really want to get like the correct, perfect soap with like nothing added into it, I know Diva cup and Maluna, I think both sell like their own brand of soaps. And if you go to like the feminine hygiene aisle in your local Walmart or Target, they should have like a pH balanced unscented soap that is specifically made for down there, and you can use that on your cup. They also say that if for some reason your cup gets discolored, if you get like a clear one like the Diva cup, that you can boil it and it will help with that as well. I personally highly recommend these menstrual cups. I am very pleased with my experience. I did have a little problem my first time inserting it, but after that something clicked and I was like, I am master of my vagina. I felt so good about it. I really do like this so much more than tampons. I like the safety of it. I like the fact that if I'm having a super busy day at work or I'm having to go a long time without being able to empty it out or change it, that I'm not going to be at risk for TSS and I'm not going to leak because these things have some major capacity. And overall, I just feel so much better about them than tampons in general. And also, it's very price effective. So they're both right around $25. And I know that a box of 20 tampons can cost like upwards of $5 to $6. So it really does add up. Real quick, I just want to let you know that this may not be good for everybody. They do not recommend it if you have an IUD because I think that it can cause it to be dislodged. And obviously, if you're going to have any kind of sexy time, like where insertion is involved, remove it because you don't want anything to happen with it. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you take it out and don't use it if you have an IUD. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope that you found this video both helpful and informative. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram at BeautyObsessedRN. Comment me down below and subscribe to my channel for more videos each week. If you haven't already, just hit that subscribe button, which should be down right below this screen. Anyway, guys, I love you all so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye!